Hello and welcome to Guitar Glasgow. I'm Mark from Roland and we're here at the Roland store in Glasgow today. I have something really exciting that I can't wait to show you if you follow me. Today I'm joined by Andy from our Roland Synth team and we're here with Roland's newest and most modern Juno synth, the Juno-X. Can we please hear a little bit,
Yeah,
Andy?
of course. So.
It sounds amazing. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about the history of Roland Juno synths?
Yeah, of course. So the Roland Juno name is one of our most famous synthesizer lines. It's actually 40 years old this year. In 1982, we released a product called the Juno-X, which was a 6-voice analog polysynth. We followed it up the following year with the Juno-60, which was kind of the same, but it had savable memories. And then the most famous one was in 1984, which was the Juno-106. These synthesizers were incredibly popular with musicians because they had a really easy to use user interface and they had such a great sound. And I'm really, really excited that we can show you the Juno-X today, which is Roland's modern Juno synthesizer. So let's take a listen to some more sounds and have a look at some of the features.
So the first feature that we should really talk about is the looks. It just looks amazing. It looks very much like a Juno-106 with the same end panels, all the colours, the font, the typeface, everything about it is trying to be a Juno-106.
Yeah, it's inspired by the Juno-106, which is probably the most famous of the vintage Juno synthesizers, and it has all of the controls that you'd expect to find them. So the Junos were really accessible synths for players because everything that they needed to tweak was right on the front panel. It had a really great tactile interface. The Juno-X has all of those controls in the same place that you'd expect to find them. They're all high resolution with 1,024 steps of adjustment, so you can get super, super fine with all of your sound design. And it's made from a premium build. We've got aluminium casing, we have XLR balanced outputs, and we've got IEC power connections. It's a really professional synth and it sounds incredible, obviously.
So we should really talk about the sound in this. It features two full recreations of two of the classic Juno synths, the Juno-60 and the Juno-106.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Juno-60 and Juno-106, for people who don't know, they're the sound of classic synthesizer music, basically. They've been used on so many countless hits by legendary artists, and they're still in demand now by even like the most popular artists recording today. So let's take a look at some of those sounds. So here we've got the Juno-60 loaded up, and this is actually a preset that was on the original Juno-60 synthesizers. This is the Juno-60 brass sound.
So one of the big parts of the Juno sound, of course, is the classic Juno chorus, and we have that control over it here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So on the Juno synthesizers, they had this incredible chorus sound on it. And it was also famously quite noisy as well. So we have actually recreated the sound of the noise on here, this hiss. But because it's 2022, we can control it and we can turn it off if you don't want. But the chorus makes such a big difference to the sound. So here's that sound that we just played without the chorus. And when I bring it back in, it makes such a big difference. On the original Juno synthesizers, it had 3 modes of chorus. So it had the first setting and the second setting, and you could push both buttons together to get a third setting, which we have built onto the front panel here as its own separate button. But what's quite nice, actually, is you can even combine these together. So I could have mode 1 and 3 together, I could have mode 1 and 2, or if you want, we could have all modes together, and which gives us a lot of modulation to the sound. So we've expanded the Juno chorus effect to give you even more possibilities with it as well.
Another reason the Juno series was so popular was because the sounds were so easy to manipulate with the onboard controls.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is another preset from the Juno-60, which is the pizzicato sound, which we're just going to manipulate in real time using the Arpeggiator. So.
The Juno-60 was really popular for synthpop, as was the Juno-106, but as it grew, it became very popular for house and techno music. Do we have any examples of those kind of sounds?
Yeah, sure, we can show some of that. So yeah, the kind of main differences between the 60 and the 106 is that the 106 has a different filter and a slightly different sounding sub-oscillator as well, so it's a bit bassier. But yeah, it makes it sounding great for things like house and techno music. So here's, I've programmed in a bit of a bass sound, and we've got a nice pad sound going as well. So. For something a bit more aggressive.
As well as paying homage to the classic Roland Juno sounds of the 60 and the 106, we've also brought in a new engine, the Juno-X.
Yeah, absolutely. And Juno-X is, the Juno-X native engine is a brand new Juno synthesizer for 2022. It's a modern imagining of what a Roland Juno synthesizer can be. And we have some brand new features, including a never before heard Roland Supersaw wave. If you're familiar with some Roland synths, a Roland Supersaw is seven saw waves that you can detune the middle 3, and you can get these really, really huge sounds out of it. So here we have just a basic sound. I'm going to add some chorus, bring in my Supersaw, and detune it. Sounds out of it.
So there's more new features going on, isn't there? So what else is new about the Juno compared to a 106?
Yeah, so we've got a few different things. You can actually change the different filter types. So we have the standard Roland filter that you would have found on Juno synthesizers, but we also have an M-style filter and an S-style filter, which give you different flavors of sounds that weren't possible. We also, as I just mentioned, we had the Supersaw wave, so you can get kind of huge pad sounds out of it. And a few other cool features, like you can you can invert the phase of the sub-oscillator, and you can even take the parameters a little bit beyond what was possible with the parameter extension function. Plus we have a whole load of extra polyphony, which is good, and we can layer sounds together. So the Juno-60 and Juno-106, you could only play one sound at a time. On the Juno-X, you can actually layer 4 sounds together, plus a drum pattern as well. So perhaps we should play some sound examples with those going on as well.
Please.
So here's a patch that I've created in a bit of a synthwave style. So I've got a Juno-60 doing the bass line and a couple of lead tones. And also we have a TR-707 for the drum pattern. So another thing that people loved about the vintage Juno synths is just how easy it was to make your own sounds from scratch. So we thought, let's start with an initialized Juno-106. Let's make a bass sound. Let's have a quick look what we can get up. So nothing at the moment. Let's just bring up our sub oscillator. Bring in the chorus. Got a bass sound straight away. And we can change it quite quickly if I want to change this into, let's make a bit of a pad sound. In the effects section. So there we go, 2 sounds straight from scratch quite quickly. Obviously, if you spend a bit more time in it, you can probably fine-tune them and get them sounding really nice, but really super intuitive to use and great fun as well, so get stuck in.
Yeah, the internal sounds are amazing, but you can also get some new sounds and content direct from the Roland cloud. You can use this USB device here, which is a WC1, to connect to Roland Cloud. And what kind of stuff can we get from there, Andy?
Yeah, so we've got some premium sound packs that have been made by really great sound designers of Juno-106 tones. There's also, because this is a ZEN-Core instrument, we have whole sort of worlds of genre-based sounds. There's over 100 SDZ sound packs, so whatever kind of music that you're making, whatever kind of sounds that you need, you can get a sound pack for it. And if you're using the WC1, you can wirelessly load them in straight from your smart device. It's very cool.
That sounded great, and I think that was the I-Arpeggio I was hearing.
Yeah.
But I was seeing you weren't doing a lot, but we could hear a lot going on.
Yeah.
So could you break down what was actually happening?
Yeah, of course. So a lot of synthesizers have an Arpeggiator, which splits up the chords that you're playing into individual notes in nice rhythmic patterns. The I-Arpeggio feature, it uses different algorithms and different styles to generate different parts based on the input of what you're actually playing. So in this one, even though we were only just playing a couple of simple chords, and because I've got a few different sounds going, if I mute some of them out, so if I mute out my other parts, so we just have one sound going, just generating this nice sort of bells pattern. But I can bring in, if another component is this pad sound. And let's have a listen to these as well. So when you bring in all of these elements together, you get that. As well as that more kind of ethereal style of things, we have different algorithms of the I-Arpeggiator that we can use and also incorporate some of the drum patterns. So this one here called Juno-X is a completely different style, but the same kind of principles. So. So a completely different style, but still really creatively inspiring, just helps you come up with great ideas. And there's loads of different algorithms that you can flip through, so always keep you interested.
Yeah, so there's so much in this, and it all sounds amazing. Some of my favourite features are the I-Arpeggiator. I really like the Juno-X Engine and having the chorus in there, but Is there any features that you really like about this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the vintage sounds. The Juno-60 is my personal favorite Roland synthesizer. So I'm really into Synthwave, as you can probably tell, and I love those sounds that are built into this. But the Juno-106 sounds incredible. The Juno-X is so inspiring. There's loads of stuff that we didn't even get a chance to talk about. It has an internal temperature gauge that can adjust the tuning in real time. We've got over 90 high-quality DSP effects. The I-Arpeggio we mentioned, loading in the patches, amazing build quality, record audio over USB. We could go all day, but we probably haven't got enough time at the moment.
No, thanks a lot. It's really nice seeing you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
Of course, you don't live here. You're going to be driving for 400 hours?
400, well, yeah, maybe. 390 maybe, you know, not too bad.
Yeah, so again, thanks for Andy for coming in. We'll have links in the description for everything we've spoken about and more. But even better yet, you could book an appointment with myself here at our Roland store in Glasgow, and we'll have links there where you can book that online. Thanks again for watching. I'm Mark, Andy, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.